Easy peasy.
Easy.
Yeah. With Vapor out on the ice, it's definitely going to be tough. So, but Braxis still needs this win badly to fend off Korhal. Puck is played back to Veyron from his crease. He is going to play that off the top boards over to Peter. Peter being stripped by Tom. The decision to have, I don't know what Zach is benched for with Peter being benched. Peter coming all the way from the West Coast is going to have severely more delay as Vapor stuffs it home past Veyron for an early goal. And there's the Vortex. Korhal back to their winning ways. Finally getting the Vortex back in action.
Preach it. That was quite the shot. Easy evac.
Kelvin backing away. Bounces that off the top. Gives it downfield for Peter. Stripped by Tanks. Thrown into the corner. And Tanks going to get the puck. Peter gives it back to Kaio. Kaio with a couple head fakes. Boosting to the top. Gets it to Peter. The defense collapses. And Tanks will play that forwards. Kelvin picks it up. Kelvin. Looking for a shot. Tanks intercepts it. Tanks throws it over the middle. Kaio has it. Throws it off the top. Peter now picks it away. And Tanks comes away with it. Tanks up close on Veyron. And Kelvin will throw it to the bottom boards. Vapor off the backboards. Gets it over. Tanks steals it. And Kelvin will throw it away. Kelvin running it down. Gonna throw that off the bottom boards. Tom now has it. Tom downfield for Vapor. Vapor trying to connect with Tanks in the center. He's going to bounce that off the backboards over to Tanks. Good pass. Tanks boosting in. Gets it to Tom. And he's stripped away by Kelvin in a hurry. Tom now with the puck. Tom after picking off the bad pass by Kelvin. Tom backing away. Tries to find Tanks. Tanks cross center ice. Throws it downfield for Vapor. Vapor boosting in. Takes a shot. And Veyron with a good save. No abilities there, but he luckily will get the puck thrown right to him. Vapor is going to lose track of the puck. Gives it back to Tom. Tom bouncing it off the bottom for Tanks. Tanks backing away. Stripped by Kelvin. Kelvin going to look down the field. Great pass, but Peter gives it back to Kaio. And Kaio making moves, but the defense will steal it away. Tanks now has it. Tanks off the top boards. Vapor there. Gives back to Tanks. Tanks stripped by Kaio. Kaio crossed the center line. Will be stripped away by Vapor. Vapor downfield for Tanks. Tanks looking to cross it to Tom. Kaio will make that a little bit difficult and throw it to the bottom. Vapor now bouncing away. Kelvin intercepts it. Throws it to Kaio. Stripped by Vapor. Vapor from the bottom. Snipes it through. I don't know how he did it.
That was quite the cross snipe to beat Veyron. Top shelf, you know, right where Mama keeps the cookies.
Kelvin backing away with the puck. Going to boost into the center. Spinning around. Throws back to Kaio. Kaio boosting in, backing away. Throws it back off to the bottom. Kelvin as the last man back. Gives it to Peter. Peter back to Kelvin. Pass is off. And Vapor now has it. Vapor over to Marker from the crease. Marker downfield for Vapor. Vapor boosting forwards, backing away. Gives it to Tanks. Kaio now takes it. Gives it to Kelvin. Kelvin stripped by Vapor. Vapor boosting forwards with it. Vapor trying to get it to Tom. Just a hair in front. Tom with a pass over to Vapor. Vapor giving some head fakes. And Kelvin will take it. Tom now has it. Tom over to Tanks. Tanks getting YOLO'd by Peter, but Tanks with a good steal gets it away. And that is the end of the first with a 2-0 lead for the Korhal War Pigs.
This was quite the first period for Korhal War Pigs. They're showing what they got with Vapor starting. He is really making things happen here with 2 goals and 11 passes. He is the heart of this team right now. And Braxis is having a little bit of trouble, you know, getting that offense going with Kaio and Peter and Kelvin on the defense. So, you know, we'll see if they can make anything happen here.
You think the decision to have Peter play instead of Zach here on the East server was a little bit of a questionable decision?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think if anything, they could have taken Kaio out and put Zach in for some extra offense. Because Kelvin, he's a solid third man. I think he's really good.
Interesting developments. Kaio off the top, gives it over to Kelvin. Kelvin stripped by Tanks. He gets it back. Kelvin trying to get up close to the crease. Almost an own goal, but Marker with enough wherewithal to boost over. Puck is played to Peter. Peter back to Kelvin. Kelvin off the top, gives it back to Peter. Peter spinning around with a short post shot. And Marker not budging an inch. So give it over to Vapor. Vapor then to Tom. Tom to Tanks. Tanks boosting in, stripped by Kaio. We'll throw it off the top. Puck will be played down to Tom. Tom looking at Tanks. Great pass. Tanks up close on the crease. But the defense will take it away. The Kaioken and Kelvin team was able to take it. Kelvin. Bounce that off the bottom for Peter. Peter stripped by Vapor, who looks like he's getting more shots on his own goal than Braxis has been able to muster up.
True that, true that.
Tanks throwing it down the middle. Kaio picks it away, throws it back to Tanks. Tom now has it. Tom boosting forward, stripped by Kaio. Good play. Throws it to Peter. Peter inching towards the bottom boards, taking a wide angle. Gonna bounce that over to Kelvin. Kelvin can't quite get the left click to get towards the net. Vapor with another pass back to Marker. Tanks will pick it up. Tanks with the bounce pass. Kaio, good interception. Throws it to Peter. Peter boosting forwards. Gonna look downfield for Kelvin. Looks like they're going with the Kelvin forwards now, and Kaio has shifted around. Tanks now off the back and the top. Kelvin gets it. Kelvin looking for a pass, but Tanks easily will take it away. Throws it into the corner for his friend Vapor. Tanks with the pass to Tom. Tom in alone on Veyron with a snipe, and Veyron, great save there. He's going to play it off the bottom to Kelvin. Kelvin to Peter. Peter up close on Marker, and boom, there it is.
What a shot. Boosting and faking out Marker and able to squeeze it toward the bottom side before he can react. That is quite the shot. It's an amazing feat for East server.
Kelvin now has it. Kelvin off the top. Tries to get to Kaio, but Tanks now picks it up. Tanks bouncing off the top. Gives it over to Veyron. Veyron really setting up that last goal with a fantastic save and giving it back to keep the puck in play. Very good game so far. Only allowed 2 in, but both of them were pretty tough to stop. Tanks looking over the center. Kelvin going to be stripped by Vapor, but he gets it back. Throwing it to the bottom. Lofts it to Peter in the center. He's going to boost forwards and lose it to Tanks. Tanks going off the bottom. Vapor now has it. Throws it to Tom. Tom floating towards the bottom. Gives it to Tanks. Tanks back to Tom. Tom over the center. Not going to hit. Peter back to Veyron. And Veyron going to bounce off the top for Kaio. Kaio to Kelvin in the center. Kelvin boosting to the bottom. Going to give it back to Kaio. Kaio boosting forwards. Going to try to find a teammate. Looking, but Tanks will block the lane. Vapor now has it. Vapor. Going to look downfield for Tanks. Tanks. Going to look for the cross, and Kelvin is there. Kelvin. Going to bounce that way off the top, a little bit out in front. Vapor now has it. Vapor off the bottom, looking for Tom. Peter will pick it up first. And Peter's just going to kill the period in a 2-1 lead for Korhal. Braxis trying to fight their way back into this one.
Oh yeah, it's definitely possible for them to, you know, get back in here. It's a 1-goal game. Anything's possible. But Korhal definitely has a much more fluid, smooth passing game. And Braxis is a little bit like they're slacking on the passes, and they're sort of more dysfunctional when it comes to this. I feel like they haven't practiced this lineup as much as Korhal has practiced theirs.
As an astute observation, my esteemed colleague.
Thank you.
Tom, back to Tanks. Tanks Off the top, over to Tom. Tom looking for a cross to Vapor. Kelvin with a good stick turn. Picked that one off before Vapor got it. Kelvin down the field for Peter. Just a hair in front. Couldn't time it up. Peter bouncing it to himself. Bouncing it back, and Vapor's there for it. Vapor getting challenged by Kelvin. Vapor backing away. Just throws it at Tanks. Korhal playing very conservative here with the 2-1 lead. With the snipe there, Veyron with a great save again. Veyron giving his team all the opportunities. Down 8-2 in shots. But still with a chance to win. Or at least tie it up. Peter giving it back to Veyron from the crease. Veyron boosting forwards, gives it to Kaio down the center. Kaio trying to get through the defense. Almost made a move there, but Vapor came away with it. And Vapor down the field for Tom. What a pass. Tom off the bottom. Gives it back to Tanks. And Kaio with a quick stick turn. What a play by both those teams.
Oh my goodness. That was amazing defense by Kyle. That last second reaction.
Tanks giving it for Tom. Kelvin will throw it to the top. Tom with the puck. Giving it back to Vapor. Vapor boosting to the bottom. He's going to look for a bounce pass to Tanks. Almost gets it on net or over to Tom. Would have been more dangerous. Bounce pass to Peter. Peter with Vapor in his face and Tanks in his face. Trying to get to Kelvin, but Tanks will take it away finally and boost away with it. Kaioken on the defense. Can he do this? Yes, he can. Kaio flipping it over to Peter. Peter fighting for Vapor, and Vapor will take it away. Kaio in Vapor's face. With Vapor boosting pass and the ball, back wall pass to him. Kelvin stripped by Tanks. Tanks close to the net. Gets it to Vapor. This could be it. Yes, it is. Easy goal.
That was quite the shot by Vapor. Veyron, not much he can do there. He unfortunately did not bounce off the post, leaving a very large gap for Vapor to shoot top.
You see Vapor in front of the net with a boost. Is very, very tough to stop it. Especially trailing 10-2 in shots on goal.
Absolutely. Veyron must be shaking in his boots right now.
He's doing good. He's doing fine. He's doing fine. Veyron off the bottom over to Kelvin. Kelvin look for Peter. Peter boosting to the top. Tries to throw it away to Kaio, but Vapor all over him. Kaio stripped by Tanks. Tanks stripped by Peter. Gets it back. Tanks off the top wing. He's going to look for a cross over to Tom. Kelvin will stop it. Good defense. Peter coming away with it. Just going to loft it down the field. Kaio's going to get there first. Kaio with Vapor hot on his trail. Vapor, good click. Well known for that. Going to throw it to the center, and Peter will mess it up, and Marker gets it. Marker throwing it over to Vapor. Vapor off the top wing. Going to look over to Tanks. Tanks getting the evac he wants. Peter, I guess, lagging his brains out over there.
Veyron, he's not EU, is he? He's like Central, right?
I think he's NA. Pretty sure he's NA.
Okay. That was quite the goal by Tanks. It was solid teamwork by Korhal, really showing what they got. Some good quality right here.
Kaioken now with this puck. Gives it to Kelvin. Up close on the net! Gets evac by Marker. Weird goal there, but Braxis will save some pride with that one.
Save some pride. I mean, 30 seconds left. Only down by 2 goals. I mean, doable, yes. Likely, not really.
That's a good point. Good point. Vapor boosting forwards. Gonna give it away to Kelvin. Kelvin look for Kaio. If we had a Kaio goal, that's all it would have taken. Peter still, he's just AFK.
Yeah, AFK. He's done.
Might have been nephewed.
Nephew.
You heard Peter apparently gets nephewed quite often. I don't know if you heard.
I've been told. Oh, what a save. Veyron, quick turn of that stick.
Kelvin stripped by Vapor, and that's going to be thrown to Tom. Kyle with the strip, and that's going to be the end of the game. GG, 4-2 win for Korhal. They are now in the 3rd seed over Braxis.
Did they take over Braxis with that?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Wow.
They got 2 wins today.
Okay, well, that's quite an impressive show by Korhal. No lie. Vapor, 6 steals, 3 goals. Definitely, showing ZHL what he's got. hashtag first round pick, or is he second round pick? Or whatever happened.
I'm not sure.
I think no, he was second round, but or not second round, second pick of the FA. He's showing what he's got, and Korhal they can definitely go far if they can manage to keep that playoff seed. I see it happening.
Very true.